today we're going to be doing a tutorial on Godzilla. Now, before I go any further, there is already a Godzilla tutorial on the channel. That's just a beginner's one. If you want to learn just the very, very basics of the game, just to get you started, if you've just bought the game, then there'll be a link at the bottom of this video in the description, which will take you to that. This is hopefully going to be the all-encompassing tutorial, which Craig has very generously offered to do here. So he's going to be taking you through the nuances of the game, the fine detail, trying to get as far as he can. I'm not going to go into, hopefully you'll see on the game itself, there are some wonderful modifications, which hopefully you can see all over the game here. Once again, the description for these mods is going to be in the description below. If you just search the channel for Godzilla mods, then we can take you through and show you where you can get these wonderful, wonderful things. Craig, thank you, mate, and welcome.
Pleasure. Excited to be here. Excited to do this. We've wanted to do this for a while, haven't we? So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Well, without any further delay, shall we crack on, mate?
Let's do it. Okay. So, beginning of Godzilla, I'm going to talk you through what I would do if I was in a tournament and just the opening of the game. So, the key thing that you need to know at the beginning of the game is these white lights here, 1, 2, 3, are going to add to your multi-ball. So basically, you're going for your Godzilla multi-ball, which is this building here. So it says, destroy building for Godzilla multi-ball. Each of those white lights is going to add a light to this damage meter, filling up this building. So I'm going to be shooting the ramps, basically. As well as that, what that is also doing is these two yellow lights here, which say light battle, hitting those ramps will light the kaiju battle on this scoop here. So this little symbol will turn yellow, signifying that your kaiju battle is ready. So you're doing two things at once, and I think that that's probably the easiest way to start the game. So I think don't overcomplicate it. Basically, shoot the ramps at the beginning. Shoot the ramps plenty of times until it is the case that you can't shoot the ramps anymore and you have to shoot the middle. And then you can either start a kaiju battle, or you can combine the two, which is the multi-ball and the battle, which is what I'm going to try to aim for. And
it is worth pointing out that the hitting the ramps changes slightly depending on which code you're running. Yeah,
that's right. So this is on a slightly older code, so I have to hit both ramps, whereas on the newest code, you can just hit one of the ramps twice in order to light the battle. Okay. I didn't talk about the skill shot, actually. So the skill shot, that's the one skill shot, which is the short one. And I'll show you another skill shot in a bit. Right, so I've hit the left ramp, which is trickier than the right ramp. Now I've hit the right ramp, so again I'm just going to shoot ramps. Now I find the left ramp much trickier to shoot than the right ramp, so what I'm doing is I'm using a little bump over in order to get me back onto the left flipper, and then shooting the right ramp over and over. Now I've done that to the point where I said before, because now those white lights are no longer lit on the ramps. Can you see? They're both gone. So it's the only light is actually on the middle. So yeah, I've done that, and now there's a green light there instead, which is the multi-ball light. So now on the Pro, if you just shoot that green light, it will actually start the multi-ball. On the Premium, you need to physically lock the three balls which go into the roof of the building. What an awesome mech. So, that's ball one locked. Now, I have another skill shot. So, you saw the one before, that was the short one, which came down. I'm going to try to get this one over here, through that white light. Not bad, a little bit too short. So again, up the middle. Second ball is locked. Now, what I really want to do now is combine my mode with my multi-ball. So I don't want to shoot that third lock now into the building. What I want to do is I want to get it into the scoop, which is lit. You can see the yellow kaiju battle is lit. On Stumbler's wonderful Tokyo Neon mod. Looks about 100 times better than the original one. So I'm going to try and get into the scoop. Now I've had a little bit of trouble with this scoop, but I'm going to try and get my shot into the scoop in order to choose a mode. And you'll see that when I make it there. So I need to get over to the left flipper. Try to get into the scoop if I can. There we go. Right. So now I'm going to choose, so you'll see, there are 4 modes to choose. You've got Ebra, which is basically spinners. Titanosaurus, which is these blue targets, these power line targets. You've got Gigan, which is the 2 ramps. And you've got Megalon, which is basically all the shots, as you can see. So the playfield lights indicate what it is that you're going for. So I'm going to go for Titanosaurus, because this is a tricky one, and combining it with the multi-ball makes sense. So, as it comes out, I'm not actually going to try and shoot those targets. I'm going to try and get the multi-ball. So there we go. So now I'm going to start the multi-ball and the mode together.
Godzilla multi-ball.
Absolutely awesome multi-ball start. Fantastic, that mech for the building. Right, so what I'm doing is shooting the little blue stand-up targets. So I've just made 2. I made the first one on the left and then the one on the right. Now it's the one by that right ramp, which is particularly tricky to get because it's like masked a little bit. So that's really why I chose this one with the multi-ball. Right, I got it. Because I had so many balls banging around. Then it's the Maser Cannon, that little target over there, which I've just made. And then it's the captive ball. So as you can see, it's all frenetic because I've done the mode with a multi-ball. But I've actually just finished Titanosaurus very quickly. And if I was doing that without the multi-ball, there's no way I would have been able to have done that. So hence the reason going for that strategy makes sense. So now, Titanosaurus is finished. I'm just playing for the multi-ball. Multi-ball, basically, you're just shooting all the lit shots. Trying to get the super jackpot, which is the red one up the middle. I might be able to get a last minute super jackpot. I did. So that was actually quite important because, as you can see, it says Godzilla multi-ball total, Monster Zero qualified. Now, Monster Zero is a little bit later on in the game, but you need to get the super jackpot. It was quite simple to get the super jackpot, but I got it, which means now that is now qualified for later on in the game. So you've got to get, as a base minimum, you've got to get the super jackpot to qualify that thing later on in the game. Right, so now I've played that first mode. Now, let's have a little look at my score first of all, because I've just gone through it. 116 million. So that's why I do it that way, because it's a fairly safe strategy, and it gives me a nice base score to work with. Now, I'm going to shoot the scoop now to move on to the next city. So, as well as that, I've also got an ally. I'll talk a bit more about allies in a bit. But shooting the scoop allows me to move past Tokyo. So you always start in Tokyo. You can see it's Tokyo, Paris, London and New York. You always start in Tokyo. Because I've completed my first raid, this yellow one, this flashing, it enables me, if I shoot the scoop, to move on to the next city. So that's what I'm going to try to do. There we go. I also chose add-a-ball there, which will give me an add-a-ball in the next multi-ball. And I'll talk about, like I said, I'll talk about allies in a bit. So let's go jet fighter attack values. Again, you get to choose something on there. So as you can see at the back, so stay in Tokyo. I can stay in Tokyo and carry on playing on Tokyo, or I can move on to the next city. Now today we're trying to get through as much of the game as possible, so I'm just going to move on to the next city. I'm going to choose London. Okay, so now as you can see at the back here, my ramps are lit again for the next kaiju battle. Yeah, so the yellow lights are lit. At the end of every city, you're going to get the Tokyo Carnage bonus. Again, I will talk a little bit more about that later. Okay. All right. Ramps. Good. So I shot that, and now kaiju battle is ready again. Now, I really want to get the ball right. So now, something else has started. So jet fighters have started, which are these red lights. So I'm just going to try and shoot these red lights over and over. Everything else I'm not concentrating on now. I'm just going to focus on shooting these red lights. And again, the way I do that, by bumping over, hitting this right ramp as many times as I possibly can. Now, all of them are lit, obviously, so I can shoot that spinner, or I could shoot the side ramp. You know, it's not just that right ramp, that's lit. Any of them are. It's just about choosing the one that's the most safe, really. Okay, that was quite nice. Okay, you have to be on it there, because that's probably the most precarious drain on the game. Now, I've done There we go. Right, so I completed jet fighter. It is so frantic, and I'm just trying my best to explain it as we're going along. But I completed jet fires. I don't know if you saw that. I made it to the 6th one. As well as that, I've got the Magna Grab, which is holding the ball. So a little bit of time to breathe. Let me just explain. It's very tricky to get control of the ball. Okay, so this is my first destruction jackpot. Again, I haven't explained destruction jackpots yet, but basically after you finish a mode, you get the right to do this. So make that shot, and it gives you a nice little score. So I got 13 million off of that. As you go through the game, that will increase massively. So you don't need to necessarily make it at the beginning. I just wanted to show that, but I will definitely be shooting for it as the game progresses. Okay. So, jet fighters. I made 6 jet fighters, which enabled me to have another ally. So, you saw before I chose Adable when I shot it into the scoop. The reason that I had an ally, I had collected one ally already. Now I have another one, but I haven't collected it yet, hence the reason it's flashing. What I can do is I can shoot into the scoop, and I can collect either Mothra, or if I use my right flipper, I can change it to Rodan to 2x scoring. So I am doing that with my right flipper. So I'm moving it across whilst doing that. I'm also doing that whilst trapping the ball. So you have to be very sensitive with it. But yeah, so that's an important thing, because what in the out lane, you're getting a save on the out lane, or obviously take 2x scoring.
Sorry, show us on the out lane there.
Yeah, so this is Mothra here. When I actually do it, I'll point it out, because I will go for that at the beginning. So again, I'm trying to provide myself as much security so I can play a long game as I can. Right. Right, so that shot there, right, and also this one. Okay, need to try and get trapped up a little bit. So okay, just going to try and get into the scoop. There we go. Right, I didn't. So 2x. So 6. I actually wanted out lanes, but it's all good. So as well as lighting Rodan, I've also lit Tank. So Tank is actually a 2-ball multi-ball because of the number of green shots that I've made around the playfield. So I've got Tank Attack multi-ball.
Great light show this is actually.
Yeah, it is very cool. So I'm going to play this as well as I can, and I'm going to shoot all these green lights. You can see all the green lights around the playfield. They're each being rewarded. The other lovely thing about this is that every single one of these is at 2x because I've got Rodan running. So I'm getting twice the value for each of these shots that I'm making because I'm running that. And now that lasts for 60 seconds. There we go. Now, I've made 4 of the shots, which lights the Mazer target, which I just nailed for the Super Jackpot. And now you move on to the next round. It gets harder as we go along. So you're looking for all the green shots. So I've got one in there in the scoop. Again, like I said, this is all at 2x. So this is a very good scoring little round. Okay. So 72 million on my Tank Attack multi-ball, which is good. Okay. So now so Destruction Jackpot is lit again. So I've just played that one little thing. So another Destruction Jackpot. I'm going to go for it because it's at 2x. Okay, I just missed it. Now you do have a very small amount of time where you can go around the spinner and make it again. So I got the Destruction Jackpot there. Not easy to do that, but if you're on it and you're alert, you can do that. Right. Let's calm down a little bit because it's very frenetic and fast. Another thing that I've just done is test the strike. So I hadn't really aimed for that, but through hitting these targets a number of times, you light this mode called Test the Strike, which is these blue lights that you can see now. I'm not going to play for it. I'm going to just try to progress through the game as much as I possibly can. I've played tanks. I'm going to focus on moving through the game as much as I possibly can. Okay. Right. Okay. So. Oh, let's play out Tesla. So basically what you're doing with Tesla is you're shooting the spinner, then shooting a blue shot. Shooting the spinner, shooting a blue shot. So that blue shot's now done, and now the spinner will be lit again. Bounce over, shoot the spinner. Now it will light a load of other blue shots. So now I need to try and shoot the next blue shot. There we go. Shoot the spinner. I always like to do that as well, just to slow the ball down. I don't know if you've noticed that. So every time the ball is coming to my left flipper, what I'm doing is I'm bouncing over to the right to try to get really control. Right, now this is the really crucial bit. Because jet fighters is going. Okay, so jet fighters. Remember what I said about before. So I've already made 6 jet fighters on the last one. I've also got bridge multi-ball lit. So now this is the other 2-ball multi-ball. So basically I've showed you now all of the mini ones. So Tesla, which is still running, tank, and now bridge. Now for bridge, you start with all these ones lit, but I'm actually not focusing on the bridge, on completing the bridge. I'm focusing on shooting the red lights, which are running at the same time, which is the jet fighters. And the reason I'm doing that is because if I manage to get 10 jet fighters before the time runs out, I get an extra ball, which is obviously very important. Right, there we go. I've done it. So I managed to get the extra ball there. Finish those. Right, now we're going to focus on bridge attack. So bridge attack is very cool. Really, really cool. Basically, you're making so many of these orange shots until it lights. So there's my adder ball, you see. So I use my adder ball to bring the multi-ball back. So I just lost my multi-ball.
The green insert was lit on the playfield and Craig pressed the button on the lock
Yeah.
bar.
So now all of these orange lights are lit. If I hold down this button, I have my heat ray fully charged. So you can see the heat ray is flashing here. I've done that through progressively shooting that spinner so many times until it's lit. If I hold this down, it's not, you can't just tap it. Tapping it will do nothing. But if you hold it down, that goes up to 100% and it awards me all the shots. Every single shot on the playfield that was lit, I've just made, which then takes me to this part of it. So the Magna grab, I need to shoot twice, and then it will light the super jackpot on the right ramp. Obviously, I've got 3 balls on my flipper, so I'm going to have to do something in order to try and separate it. But I need to shoot that twice, and then shoot the right ramp. Shooting it off the backhand is going to be too tricky. So let's see if I can do something here. Okay, never mind. I'm sure we'll hopefully play bridge again at some point. But the key thing was I've got the extra ball from the jet fighters. Can you see how I'm struggling so much to get control? It's because the angle of the flippers is very different on this game. Now, I need to get into the scoop because the Kaiju battle is lit. In comparison to like other games, like Star Wars, the post pass, I'm going to show you now what happens on the post pass is very different. And post passing isn't easy because of this gap here between the right sling and the ball. Watch what happens. So it doesn't hit the bottom of the sling in the same way as you would perhaps think in like a normal layout of in terms of the bottom of the playfield. So what Keith Elwin has forced you to do is make shots in order to transfer the ball more so than post passing. I still will post pass at points like I just did then, but it wants you to shoot the ramps in order to transfer the ball. Right, I'm going to try and get into the scoop. There we go. I seem to have found the scoop a little bit better. Right, Godzilla Power Up 3. So I'm going to choose Destruction Jackpot plus 3 seconds. Rather than, they are 2 really good choices, but I've gone for that one. Right, so now, this is my second Kaiju battle. So now, I'm going to go with Gigan because Gigan is, in my opinion, the safest of all of the kaiju battles because basically I can just shoot the ramps over and over and over. So that's what I'm going to try and do now. If I can. In a minute, I'm not doing great. Right, here we go. So now again, transfer. Rather than shooting the left ramp, I'm just going to bop over, shoot the right ramp. Obviously, it's encouraging you to shoot the left ramp, and the points are doubled if you do that. But for me, the amount of risk on that left ramp is so much more that actually I'd much prefer to do this all day. You know, it makes much more sense to me. What I want is, if I want to progress through the game, this is the way to do it.
It is worth pointing out on a premium, if that building has collapsed down one level, you can just keep hitting the same shot over and over because it will create a crossroads which will deliver it straight back to that left flipper.
Whereas on the Pro, this is you have to basically play it this way. There's no ball diversion. Right. So I completed that one. So that kaiju battle is now finished. So I've actually completed all 4 of them on the same ball. Now, there is something significant to say about that now. I have done tanks, I've done raid, I've done bridge, and I've done power, and I've done them all on the same ball. So I've done that, and that, if you saw, so my destruction jackpot has just built, as well as that in the second city. So your carnage bonus, which is the thing that once you collect a city, so you're going to see me try and go in the scoop in a minute. You're going to see me collect it. Now, if you manage to do all 4 of these things in the same city, on the same ball, your bonus is times 5. So when I moved on from Tokyo after my first city, my score was like 11 million or something like that. Not a lot, because all I'd done is I'd played this one raid mode. Now, as you can see, all 4 of them are flashing. So when I go in that scoop, I'm going to get a nice collect. I don't actually know how much it will be. We'll see. But it will be nice.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
So hitting that scoop is actually vital. You don't want to miss the scoop and then lose the ball.
Exactly right.
That won't all be done on one ball.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you will still get it at 2x. But you won't get it at 5x because I've done it all on one ball. Right, so let's try and hit that scoop if we can. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now we made it to level 4 as well, which means that we have lit Monster 0. Okay, I haven't actually made that left ramp, so I mucked up there thinking I was going to collect. Can you see the light battle is still lit on the left ramp, so I've got to shoot that. Yeah. Ooh. I really want to try and do this. Oh, no. So I don't actually want to do Monster 0 yet. I want to, if I can. Okay, that's good. Left ramp, good. Here we go. So, get in the hole. Oh, damn, scoop. There we go.
Well done. Well done.
Okay, so now I have to play this second kaiju battle. So, you can see on the back glass here on the display, I've played my first one, which I played Gigan. And now I'm into my second tier of kaiju battles. This is the thing I was forgetting. So I can choose one of these 3. I'm going to choose this middle one, which is a multi-ball. Now, in my opinion, this is the worst one. It's the lowest scoring. But the reason I've chose this is because I want to come out of it and have the scoop lit for that 5x. And having a multi-ball gives you that extra reassurance. Whereas playing that, playing the other 2 modes are really valuable in terms of scoring, but I don't want to lose my ball. So, yeah. So it's nice to have a multi-ball. So what I'm doing in here is I'm hitting switches, spinner shots, and then hitting obviously the yellow shot in the middle is basically what I'm aiming for. But like I said, I'm not really going to be focusing on this one too much because it's a very hard mode as it is. Right, so now it's the spinner through mecha. There we go. And now, right, get the ball back under control. That is the key thing. Get the ball under control, please. Okay. Oh, I've started Rampage. Right, okay. That's fine. Again, so there's so much running, you see. Now, Rampage I really like as a mode. Again, as you can see on the display there, it says 11 more for extra ball. So I'm 100% going for this. So you can see where the yellow lights are. You have a certain amount of time. You also have a lovely ball saver with this. So you can make shots without worrying too much. So it's just move to the middle. Can you see what I'm doing, yeah? So it's all these yellow shots is what I'm aiming for. Just hitting those as many times as I can. It's counting down on the screen, so I've got 7 more for extra ball. I can do this all day at the minute because the ball save is still on. 5 more to go. Ball save still going. You can see it's massive, this ball save. Now, a lot of people hate this mode because it locks you out of progress on other stuff. But I actually really like it because the scoring in it can be really, really high. If you make it past 12, if you make it to the extra ball, past the extra ball bit. Obviously, now I'm not going to get the payoff if I drain now. Right, so the sensible thing to do now probably is to trap up. I'm not going to. I'm going to play it. Right ramp. Oh, don't die. Don't die. I really want this extra ball. There's one. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, you scumbag.
Unlucky.
Still. Right. So, yeah, when I get into the scoop now, it's not going to be at 5x, it'll be at 2x. You'll be able to work out what the score was. But it would have been a nice collect because I'd done all 4 of those. But it will still be at 2x. Okay. So, let's get in the scoop in order to move on. And that's what this game does so well. It tempts you in with things because everything's got a value. You know, it's like, oh, I'm not going to not going to do this because it's like, you want to do it all because everything's worth something, you know? And that's what often happens. I had 800 million first ball,
yeah,
and I got nothing on that next one. That's all right, though.
That one. Well,
right.
Apart from the 800 million on the first ball.
Yeah, exactly. Right, here we go then. Right, concentrate now. Let's try and get that skill shot if we can. Okay, get in the scoop. There we go. Right, so now this is the collect that I was talking about. So collect imposter. I like to collect imposter because certainly on this code, it's much harder to collect imposters. Right, there's my Carnage bonus. You see 133 million, but if that's at 2x, I would have had that at 5x, so it would have been absolutely huge, to be fair. All right, so we're going to move to the next city. So we're moving to New York now. So we're on to the 3rd city.
We can only imagine the destruction Godzilla could unleash in another city. The damage to the city.
So this is the total of all those things that I played is times 2. You see what it would have been times 5 if I got it in the hole. Okay. And you can see how hard I'm having to work to try to keep the ball in play. Right, I've got another extra ball. Right, so we're good. We're cooking now, and that's the thing with this game. Once you get to a certain level and you start working into those extra balls, you know, you can just chain them from one into the next.
I'll just point something out, if I may, Craig. So at the bottom of Stumblor's wonderful Tokyo Neon sign, just so you can see this because the colours can be a little bit washed out. It's the video camera. It's very vibrant green because I've set it to that on the sign, which is telling Craig that he has basically adder ballets.
The flashing one. So light out lanes or 2x scoring.
Yes.
So if I can choose whichever one I want. So if I get into that now, I can collect my ally and have either Mothra lit or 2x scoring.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Which I will do, but first of all, I'm going to try and shoot these ramps to get through to the next kaiju battle. Oof. Okay. Did you see it said heat ray building there? That was the thing that I talked about earlier. You know, and that's every time you shoot that spinner, you are progressing towards your next heat ray. Right, let's work a little bit on Mecha Godzilla. Oop. Okay, so went in the scoop. Mothra is now lit. So it was lit on the out lane. So Mothra is now lit. So now if the ball goes down that left out lane, I will get a save, which is nice and definitely worth doing. Now, as you can see, there up the middle there on the building, there is a yellow light. Now, you don't normally see that yellow light on any other part of this game, and that's because Monster Zero is lit. So if you saw after the 4th power up, it came on one choice only, and this is like the first mini wizard mode. So I'm going to play that now. Okay, so in Monster Zero, what's going to happen is you've got these green shots. You make those green shots, and then you'll get... So, look, shoot green arrows to light lock, then shoot the building to lock a ball. Locking 3 balls or draining starts multi-ball. So, the first thing that I'm going to do, so you're just going to try and shoot these green arrows up the middle. That counts. So now the building moves down. You get a nice ball save as well. Now, you can build. So you see these red arrows, you can build your score. So if I shoot that, look, it changes from 1 million to 1.25 million. Now from 1.25 to 1.5. But the thing is, it's a gamble. Because this is all during when my ball save is on. I'm okay with that. But what the key thing to say is, if you lose the ball now, when the ball save isn't lit, that's it. It's gone. So like the ball save is gone. If I lose my ball now, that's the end of Monster Zero. Whereas now, if I lock in this ball, if I drain from this point, I will get a multi-ball. So you really want to be sure that you lock at least the first one in, and then after that you can get more risky on the build phase of this. I hope that makes sense.
That's a great... I didn't know that. I've not been playing it like that. With the red shots.
So the green arrows to lock the next ball. Right ramp. So now all the red arrows are lit, you see. So I could just shoot up into the green to lock the next ball, but I'm not. I'm going to gamble. I'm going to shoot these red arrows for as long as I possibly can. Eventually, these red arrows will run out, and it will just be the green one lit. But I've got a bit of time, so I'm going to try and add to my base score. And if I drain, then I'll still get a 2-ball multi-ball, which is fine, you know. So again, look, I'm now up to 5 million in terms of the value. Oh, right. So my ball isn't over. I'm going to be playing now victory multi-ball at a super jackpot multiplier ×3. If I had managed to lock all of them, I could have got up to 8x. So again, it's all just a big old gamble in terms of how much of this you're going to get to see. So my values are pretty low, so it's not going to be a great score, and I've only got 2 balls in it. Whereas obviously, like I said, if I had locked all 3 in there, the values would have been more, and it would have been a bigger multiplier.
And you've got your adder ball as well, obviously.
I have got my adder ball as well. I'm probably actually not going to use it on this one, because I know that the score's not going to be great, because I've only got it right. So I've used my Mothra again. I didn't really want to use my Mothra there. Okay. No, I'm not going to use my adder ball. So Monster Zero finished. 37 million is rubbish. It's not a great score. I've had over 1 billion on Monster Zero before, when you can really nail it, and it's a brilliant mode. I didn't really fully show it there, but I think I explained what it is that you're trying to do, so hopefully you see that. So now I'm moving on again. Left ramp for Kaiju Battle is where I'm aiming. Again, on other games I would just post transfer and get onto the right flipper, but on this one, right, so now Super Trains. I'm not super familiar with Super Trains, because like I said before, I've got a Godzilla Pro, but I know enough where basically, again, it's like Rampage, where it just locks you out. You know, you have to do it. Now, you can see the building rising. If I shoot up the middle now, I think, no, maybe not. There is a collect on Super Trains, I think. Shoot left or right ramp, so that's all I can do, is just shoot the ramps. I know that there's scoring on this on Super Train is it can get pretty decent. Oh, right, okay, so left ramp for the train jackpot. Okay. Ah, come on, that's double danger. Ah, good. Oh my goodness. Okay, stay alive. Right, Super Trains is gone, which is probably a blessing, to be honest. Oh, right. And that is quite often, that is a classic drain on Godzilla. A kind of a non-made right ramp coming down the middle. That is often the drain. And as the game goes on, if the flippers get weaker, that can quite often happen. Now on these, you've got fans on this, which really, really help cool down those coils, which means that you can consistently make it. That was just my fault. Okay. Right. Let's recap where we are. So, I've made it through Tokyo. I've made it through London. I'm in the third city, which is New York. I need to shoot that left ramp in order to light the kaiju battle, which I will start on the scoop. I also have an ally, which I can collect on the scoop as well. I also have Destruction Jackpot lit. I'll talk more about Destruction Jackpot as we get later on in the game. Come back, please. Yes. Okay, good. Rage combo. It'd be nice to make this rage combo. So right ramp, left ramp. I didn't make it, which is fine. You get like one. You get one go at it. That's it. See, that's all. And this is the thing about this game. It's like there's loads of things tempting me to do these other bits, but what you really want to do is focus on making your way through the path. Right, kaiju battle is lit. It's yellow, you see. So if I get in that hole, which is easier said than done. Okay, I've just got the extra ball from the saucer. I hadn't been concentrating on that. This is the saucer here. I've hit that 3 times when it was lit. I didn't actively shoot for it, but after 3 you get an extra ball. The reason I don't actively shoot for it is because I always end up shooting it anyway, because I always miss the scoop, as do most people. Right. Okay, there we go. Right. I chose Mothra, so my left out lane is now lit. So if it goes down that left out lane, I save. Right, now I've got 2 more to go. Eberez spinners. Megalon is the really valuable one. I'm going to save that. Do I want to save that? No, I'm going to play that. I'll play it now. Right, Megalon, you've got to make all these shots. Can you see all these yellow shots? On the later code, they're actually purple. They changed the colour on it. But basically, you're going to see me just aiming for them, and it moves around and makes it difficult for you to shoot it. So, actually, yeah, so it is on this code. It is already purple. You see that purple shot is what I'm aiming for.
Which is the left ramp.
Yeah. And if you don't make it, okay, that might have awarded it for me. So sometimes if you shoot that Godzilla wallop shot, that backwards one, which you don't normally intentionally aim for, it'll award you one of the shots that you're playing on. So, I really wanted to play that well, and hence the reason that I made a mistake, because I was trying to get the ball over to the right ramp because it was the right flipper because it was on the left ramp. And that's what Megalon does to you, because there are so many points that are available if you are able to consecutively shoot the shots. I just wasn't able to. Okay, so we are burning through these extra balls now. They're probably on to the last one now, so I've got to start playing a little bit better. Right, get in the... So, the first 2 modes that I'd played, I actually completed them in one go. Megalon, I didn't complete then. I drained out, didn't I, during it. So when I go back into the kaiju battle, into the scoop now, Megalon will still be lit. I need to work my way through Megalon again. So that's what I'm going to try to do. If I can. Okay, so again, Megalon, here we go. So I've only made one of the Megalon shots. So remember, I'm looking for the purple shots. It's on this saucer. which is nuts, isn't it? You're actually actively shooting that saucer. It's so dangerous, but you've got to do it if you want to play it. Now look at the next one. He's on the spinner there in the middle. Just made that. Looking for the next one. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, it's on the right ramp. Shoot the right ramp. Nice. Lovely. And look at the score, 16 million for that shot. Because again, I'm doing it in sequence, everything together. So now the spinner, if I can, but you've only got like 4 or 5 seconds in which to do it. It's gonna time out. It's gonna time out. I made it. 21 million. So it's huge, you see. Now if I could get 2x running with this, you can get massive scores, and I've actually got it lit. But I don't want to risk it. 35 million. Looking for where the next one is. Where is up the middle? Up the middle. There we go, got it. What's the score? 45 million. So look at that for a score there. 142 million on that one mode. So Megalon can be valuable. If I'd had that 2x running, it would have been 280 million. Massive. Right, so the crucial thing to say is, so I built the destruction jackpot up to 4x now. Godzilla. So every time you're doing it, it's awarding you new things all the time. Power-ups, extra balls. It's awarding you the next bit of the sequence. Now, you can see the ramps are lit again. So I need to now play a tier 2 battle before I can move on to the next city. I also have tank multi-ball lit, so I will have to play that before I can move on to the next city. So I'm going to try my best. Shoot the ramps, get in the scoop. What a nightmare. Okay, so I did a death save there, and I used my Mothra. And it was all because of that decision that I just let it bounce. When the ball comes around. Wow, that was an awful sequence of events there. I literally just burned everything, but that's okay. Right. I need to shoot the left ramp in order to light the next tier 2 battle. Do you remember I played that multi-ball? I chose that multi-ball. So now the next tier 2 battles are really valuable. So what I'd love to do is play those with a 2x and show the point of 2x scoring if I can. But before I do that, I've got to play tank multi-ball, and I've got to shoot a left ramp in order to light it as well. So left ramp. Okay. Destruction jackpot. So I think destruction jackpot's at 4x now. So it's starting to get decent value. Look, this is worth nearly 100 mil. It's 88 mil for one shot.
3, 2, 1.
Oh. And that's why it's so important that you make this shot. What I chose before was plus 3 seconds for destruction jackpot. And that was why. Because if you miss, it gives you an extra 3 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but actually when you're making it is a huge difference. So that was one of those perks that I made. Right, left ramp please. There we go, left ramp. Good. So that's made. Now getting the scoop. Good. Okay. Power up level 6. So Rodan timer plus 15 seconds. That's opportune because I've just lit Rodan as well. So instead of getting 60 seconds for Rodan, I'll now get 75 seconds. So I've got 75 seconds of 2x scoring and tank attack multi-ball running, which is great. But saying that, what I really want is the tier 2 battle. So it's all well and good playing it. Yeah, we'll play this multi-ball out. We'll play it out. If I could have had 2x running with the tier 2 battle though, then it could have got really tasty. And maybe I still will have a little bit of time left on that anyway. So you can see what I'm doing in tank attack. I'm shooting these green shots. There we go. And then it's still one more. Oh yeah, because I've already played one tank attack, it gets harder. So I've got just that one shot in the scoop and then it moves. Right, anyway, it's finished. Oh, don't die. Don't die. My goodness. And this is the thing, isn't it? It's like, it's not like a Twilight Zone or an Addams Family where you can just smash through all the modes, because there's so many other things that it's getting you to do along the way. It's tricky to just kind of focus purely on making it through the game, and you wouldn't want to anyway, because there's so many scoring opportunities along the way, and that's the brilliance of this game, the brilliance of the code, the brilliance of all of it. Right, let's try and so we're on to ball 3 now. Let's try and get through to Planet X. Let's just again recap. So, London, New York, Tokyo are done, because I've played my raid in New York. Monster Zero, I've done. Remember, I made played that mode. Terror of Mechagodzilla, we haven't even talked about I've avoided this whole area so far. I will do that in a bit. So what you're trying to do in order to make the King of the Monsters is you are trying to get all 4 of these done, play Planet X, play Monster Zero, and play Terror of Mechagodzilla in order to light King of the Monsters. I'm trying to make it to Planet X on this video, and if I can get to King of the Monsters, then brilliant, but if not, I'd like to try to get to Planet X. The way you get to Planet X is by playing all 4 of these modes. So I need to try to move on to the next city, to Paris. The way that I need to do that is by playing a Tier 2 Kaiju battle, which is shoot the scoop. Okay. So these 2 modes that I was talking about before, they're really nice and valuable. My favourite one is that King Ghidorah one, so I'll leave that one till... I'll play it now. So, this is a wonderful mode. Again, if you can get line your 2x up with this, it's wonderful. Right, so, as you can see, all these shots are lit. They start green, and then that one, which I've just shot, turns yellow. If I shoot that again, it turns red. If I shoot it again, it'll go off. And now I've completed it. Now it's 2.8 million. So each one of these shots is adding to your collect. So I've done the 3 on that one man. And what you need to do in order to collect is just make 3 of those shots. If you make 3 of them, then you can collect. And as the collect is on the scoop. So it's turned yellow. Now it's turned red. So can you see what I'm doing? This is green, yellow, red. You make it to the red and it switches it off. And this is all a gamble, because the scoring gets huge, especially if you've got Rodan running. But what you can do is you can just, if I can hit the scoop now, which is, like I said, easier said than done. It's terrible. All this time, the timer is counting down. So I'm definitely just going to try and collect now if I can. There we go. So King Ghidorah jackpot, 49 million, you see. So now you have a choice. You fight or flee. Fight, you would get a little bit more time, and then you'd have all the shots again. I'm going to flee, because you get a nice little bonus. And you get, so it's a decent score, so I've got 75 million for that. Again, I've had over 1 billion on that mode. You know, if you play that really, really well with Rodan running, you can get such a huge score on it. But what that means that I've done, now I've played that Tier 2 Kaiju battle, I can move on now. Destruction jackpot's getting up there, isn't it? 31 times 4.
Never seen that.
There we go, nice score. Again, imagine if you had had 2x running with that, you know, all of these options as you're going through the game are there. Right. If I get into the hole now, I can move on to the next city, which is what I need to try to do. Wish I could shoot this scoop. Oof. Okay, so I can stay in New York, or I can travel to Paris. I'm going to travel to Paris. So, I'm into the final city now.
Godzilla may be making his way to another city. We are tallying up the damage done to the city thus far.
See, no multiplier, because I didn't do all of them. I didn't do power, I didn't do bridge. You see? So that was it was good that I managed to show you that what that does if you play all of those little bits in each of the cities, because the huge scoring in that. Right, Kaiju battle. Right, what is Jet Fighters for 15 or 16 or whatever? Maybe I'll play for Jet Fighters. Oh, extra ball, nice. That was worth doing. because I needed that. So I got the extra ball. I didn't realise I hadn't done that. Only 50 mil. It's not giving me an extra ball because I've had the maximum number of extra balls. I guess that must be what you've set the game to. Okay. So +1 destruction jackpot would be nice. You see, yeah, and it's constantly getting you to make these decisions as you're going along. But you saw what I have 31 times 4. If I make this one shot, which is granted a tricky shot. Oof. Don't die, please. Right. Right, come on, concentrate. I'm shooting that one behind the flipper. Oh, it's so hard, that shot. But that would have been worth another multiplier on my destruction jackpot, you see. God, it's so frenetic. Okay. Take stock. Right. Shoot the scoop, Craig. Right, let's lock a ball. The reason I've done that is because I get a nice little ball save when I make this plunge now. And now I can get, and hopefully, short plunge and try and hit the scoop.
So if you hit the skill shot, you get an even more extended ball save.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Tactical.
Here we go then. Very good. I got a little ball save. Get in the scoop, please. Okay, that's what I wanted. Let's shoot another one. Don't you drain. Yes.
Well done.
Thank God for that. Right. So, Ebra is my last tier 1 kaiju battle. Shooting the spinners. You can see there's 3 shots around the playfield which have spinners. I'm shooting each of those. You are counting down the number of spins, so you probably have to shoot the middle spinner a few times, whereas the 2 wide ones, you probably just need to make them once. So that was a good one to get that one out of the way early. Ooh, I am on the machine trying to save it there on the out lanes. Right, so that's a lovely shot. I absolutely love that shot. Probably one of my favourite shots in all pinball, that backhand of that spinner. It's so rewarding and just so lovely to make. Now this one, oh. So I haven't really shot this shot all game.
No, you've not.
To be fair, I've tried to avoid it because it's quite dangerous. But I will if I can. Oh, come on! Whew. Oh my goodness! Oh, don't know what's happened there. Oh, okay. I do. It's the saucer attack multi-ball, right? That's interesting. I didn't think that would happen whilst the kaiju running. So actually, I don't want to focus too much on the saucer attack. I want to carry on because, again, getting sidetracked. I'm just trying to shoot the spinner. Okay, just the spinner. There we go. That's done. And now the pop bumper. Done. Right. So that now I can play on saucer attack multi-ball. Saucer attack multi-ball. The reason that just started is because I hit the saucer 6 times when they were lit. Now, saucer attack multi-ball, you have a load of white shots, and then the maser cannon is lit. You can see it here, yeah? That shot I'm trying to shoot just there. Here we go. No good. Okay. Oh, no. And the thing is, everything else is locked out at the moment, so you have to play this. Let's do a little cradle separation, and then there we go. All right, so now you see all these other white lights lit. It gives you a little ball save as well. Again, encouraging you to play it. It's like, oh, it's okay, you're not going to die. And I know, bloody will die. Okay. Right, I'm not going to carry on. All right, I'm not going to... So you get the idea. You shoot the white arrows until the maser cannon target is lit for a super jackpot. You shoot that. I'm not. I'm going to let it drain because I want to see if I can carry on and try and make it through to Planet X. So, as you can see, all 4 are done. Tokyo, Paris, London, New York. I still have a tier 2 battle that I need to play in Paris. So, shoot the ramps. Nice. Get in the scoop, please. Nope. Okay. Okay. Sensible play is probably to light the outlane. The risky play, well not risky, but like the big scoring strategy would be to go for 2x, but that means that I need to play the next mode. And to be honest, I'm probably going to not play the next mode. So, let's take Mothra. There we go. So that lights my left outlane. I'm also starting my final battle. So this is Godzilla power-ups level 7. Again, I've not really talked about power-ups. Whichever one you like to shoot more, spinner, loop, you know, now they're all worth double what they have been for the rest of the game.
King Ghidorah? King Ghidorah?
King Ghidorah is the three-headed monster. Right, so this one is switches. So look, it's not obvious this at all. It's like, oh, nothing's lit. What am I shooting for? You shoot the spinner enough times and light enough things, now it lights everything, you see? So now, each of these yellow shots, again, is adding to the value. So it's a gamble. You make a yellow shot, 3x multiplier. If I make another yellow shot, 4x multiplier. Make another yellow shot, 5x. But if you shoot the middle, the red one, oh, that's 5x. And now my ball save is done. So I need to shoot the middle, please. Right, there we go. Fight or flee, again. So now I could add time. Look, I've got 34 seconds left. Can carry on. But I'm not going to. Oh, I am going to.
Oh, yes.
So, look, I've gone 34 to 69. I didn't mean to do that just because it timed out because I was talking for too long. So now I really, really need to make it to the... Oh, Mothra's gone. This is getting a little precarious. Don't you dare.
Well done.
Okay. Shoot the spinner. It's not just that spinner. It's any spinner. It's just about switch hits. This is nice. If I hit 6 of those, I get an ally as well. Dangerous. Okay. So again, I'm just going to cash out. So to move on. Okay. No, flee. I'm a coward. Right. So again, the score, you can see, it's all gambling. It's all about the score. It's about, you know, work. It's 150 million. Great. I've had like 700-800 million on that one before. You know, it's all about kind of giving you opportunities to score more. Don't be, not be a coward and carry on. But so here's what we're trying to do is show Planet X. Let's try and do that. Right. Oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Now that would be frustrating, wouldn't it? But we've actually put it on 4-ball.
I think so. Just in case.
Just in case I screwed up, which I did. Okay. Oh my goodness, that was stressful and painful. Right, but by magic, we are on for a 4-ball game rather than a 3-ball game. So we will try and show you some Planet X. Okay. Okay. You see? So I've done them all. I can now travel to Planet X. So let's do it. I nearly did it on 3 balls with about 5 extras. But
I was there for the safety net.
exactly. Okay. So again, you had way more opportunities. You got nothing in any of these, you know. So the brilliant game would be to do all of those in all of the cities. But this is cool. Let's watch this. So your Earth bonus is a combination of all the totals in all of all the cities. I only really played one city, hence the reason that was the one that was like 60.
Aliens appear to be retreating back to their planet.
Let's take Godzilla and Rodan to Planet X with their saucer.
Okay. So Planet X is basically a combination of all of those bits and pieces. You can see the blue targets is what I'm aiming for at the moment. I get a decent ball save, so I'm just going for these targets at the moment. There we go. So now I like the next bit, which is the spinner. So that's a 5x power line. Now I've got to make all these green shots, all the tank shots, yeah? So if I can make all these, got a little bit of a ball save there. Okay. Okay. Right, down to 2 balls. Now, even if I went down to 1 ball, I would still be in Planet X, but obviously I want to try and keep 2 alive as long as I possibly can as that reassurance. Okay. I also, which is wonderful, have an adder-ball. So if I do go down to 1 ball, I will hit my adder-ball to add another ball to keep me going for a little bit longer. So I'm just trying to hit these 4 green shots. Well, that was nice. That's really nice. Now just this left ramp. Okay. Well, that was very nice. That was... Oh. Right, I'm going to add a ball. So I had to add a ball there. I didn't have to, but I think it was probably wise to. Laser cannon is where I'm going now. So that target on the left, yeah? Just that one target. There we go, that was lucky. And then you get a nice little ball save again. Okay. Now, the magnet grab. Come on. Don't. Right. Magnet grab. Oh, it was awful.
It's because your flipper was up, wasn't it?
It was. To be honest, though, there's loads of room to not do that. I was going to talk about staging. Oof. There we go. Captain Ball Award. I think I got to hit this 5 times. This captive ball, which is obviously very dangerous. Again, so I'm down to 1. It's still all right. I'm still going. It's just this is my last chance now. Okay. 3. I got 2 more to survive. This is so dangerous. Okay, right round. Captive ball. There we go. Okay, that's... Oh yes, give me a little ball save. So now right ramp. I think for 100 million, yeah. 5x captive ball. Now I've got to hit all these yellow shots. You see, there's a lot to it. I'm nearly there. I'm doing all right. Okay, get that ball back. Got to get all these yellow shots now. There we go. Survive, please. Survive, survive. There we go. Yellow shots. Nice. So middle, loop, and this spinner, which is the most damn tricky one. Okay, let's try it. Oh. Middle. We're gonna have to. Oh. Anyway, not bad. Not bad. So you didn't get to see the end of Planet X. It's probably just as well. You need to earn it yourself. It was a good game. I obviously had... I won't put it in because I had 4 balls. But no. 4 balls.
Well, nonetheless.
And all the extras. But still, Godzilla is, in my opinion, the best game ever made. I think it's got so much complexity to it. I did struggle, you know. If you could, if for those of you who've watched my Star Wars tutorial, which you'll be able to find on Gonzo's channel, I found that much easier to explain because basically you can just work your way through. In here, you know, I found myself being sidetracked so many times because there's so many points on offer for all those bits along the path. And that's what a great game is, isn't it? It's tempting you. If you're just playing the same game all the time in the same way every single time, then it's going to get boring. Whereas if you want one game in your collection, this thing, you know, because there's so many different opportunities and different ways of playing it. There's a competition at the moment that's been being run by Carl D'Angelo of IE Pinball, where you are just aiming to collect your Carnage bonus in Tokyo. And so it's just building all of those different elements to the highest value you can get. So my end score was 3.1 billion. 3.1 billion, yeah, which sounds like, you know, and I've basically made it to almost to the end. I've made it to Planet X, which is like the one away from King of the Monsters. I also needed to play Terror of Mechagodzilla. The one thing I have really neglected is the whole Mechagodzilla. I didn't even get to play Mecha once in that game. So, you know, that it's not the complete tutorial because I haven't explained that. But, you know, there are lots of guides out there for that. But yeah, like I just think it's kind of perfect. You know, there's so much to it. There's so much depth to it. It will keep you interested for an awful long time. You know, I had to fight there to get that game going, but hopefully it showed off the majority of the game.
Absolutely. Well, thoroughly enjoyed it, mate. There were some thrilling saves on that, it has to be said, and it's just a shame. What did you call the save? The death,
yeah.
the save of death, or whatever it was.
Yeah, the death save.
Well, unfortunately, I think save of death is better than death save. But we didn't see that because I was focusing so much on the camera on the playfield. We didn't actually see what you did there. But wonderful. You did pull one of them off. The last one you didn't quite manage.
Didn't quite manage it, but I didn't deserve to manage it. To be honest, you want to earn it. Do you know what I mean? You want to get to that point because it's, you know, you saw how cool Planet X was. King of the Monsters is like 2 times, 3 times cooler. It's absolutely amazing. So, you know, it's that carrot at the end. You want to try to achieve it yourself, get to that point, show it off. You know, it's absolute all-time game. So, yeah, cheers.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, mate.
Pleasure.